my businesses down. I closed all my businesses down. Of course, I could have stayed in that colonized United States of America. I'm very in tune with the universe. I'm very in tune with my ancestors. I heard the calling and I came. I talk to my ancestors every day. I tried so hard to stay here in Africa. I paid $100 a day to live in a 2-bedroom and the 6 of us with no hot water, no stove, no refrigerator. The refrigerator broke. I'd rather go back to America and deal with the racism in America before I sit here in Africa.
She was talking about the animals and the lizards and the scorpions and the spiders. You know, over here you just deal with the roaches. You know, over here you got to deal with stuff that can kill you. But she said that the ancestors told her to move to Africa. I keep telling y'all black folks that the ancestors, if they were so enlightened, then why are y'all still crying? If the ancestors were so enlightened and they had it all figured out and they got so much information, then why are y'all still crying and complaining? Why haven't they downloaded all of the jewels, the hidden jewels, the stuff that they learned to help you all be successful? Why are you all still oppressed? If the ancestors did such a great job and they have so much information and so much knowledge and so much wisdom, then why are they not giving it to you all? Why are you all still suffering and struggling? Explain it to me. Make it make sense. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
I'd rather go back to America and deal with the racism in America before I sit here in Africa and deal with the bullshit bribery, the bullshit fraud, the bullshit scams, the bullshit too expensive, the bullshit not having no snacks, the bullshit not having no food, the bullshit electricity, the bullshit hot water, the bullshit, what's that shit called that be coming down? The bullshit animals and scorpions outside the house. It's big ass spiders. It's big ass lizards. Colorful lizards you ain't never seen before. All in the fucking room with you, sleeping with you. All the bullshit people trying to scam you when you go outside thinking you rich. So they trying to get more money off of you. I'm really trying to wrap my head around this shit. I'm really trying to wrap my head around how are Americans coming to Africa and being happy. Please comment down below. Because for me, I'm ready to go. And I always used to say, if it's up to me, it will be. And I'm going to go out to Africa and make shit happen. No, I don't want to. I want to take my businesses back to America. I want to open up shop back in America, open up my dentist office, and all the stuff that I was going to do out here in America. Steady electricity. And the only time our electricity get cut off is when we don't pay the bill. And we got it so good now, we got prepaid electricity. So if we forget to pay the bill, we put some money on that prepaid thing and it comes right back on in 2 minutes. In less than 2 minutes. This shit right here didn't come on for 14 hours yesterday. I can't deal. I love the people. Don't get me wrong, when I'm outside, I'm having fun. I love the people. But when I come back to reality, when you come back home, home is where the heart is, right? When you come back home, you're supposed to feel comfortable, you're supposed to be happy. I'm not happy. To live in a house where you look outside and all you see is turkeys and ducks and chickens and sheeps and old malnourished cows.
God is our awesome defender says, look how chunky her face is. She's eating. They got food. Well, we know they got food because she ain't missed no meal. Now, you would think she has some locks in her hair. She's in the motherland. You would think she would become more conscious and want to lose weight. She's not. You know why? Because the culture traveled with her. This is what I'm trying to tell you all. Black people take Black culture with them. So that means wherever they go, they're going to get the same results. The results won't change because of the culture. Now, she done uprooted herself and moved to Africa, and now she wants to move back. And most of the Black people experience this, but they try to save face. You see, most of the Black folks experience it, but they want to save face. They want to go back to America. That means they were wrong. These Africans over in Africa have a different culture than you. Africa is a continent. That means each country in Africa has its own culture. Each country in Africa has its own culture, and within those countries, there are multiple cultures. So, in other words, you going to Africa is equivalent to you going to China or you going to Europe because the cultures are so different. So, again, imagine you having so much programming and so much propaganda to where you think that you're going to go to Africa and live a better life. There's a video of her saying, like she said earlier, that the ancestors told her to do it. So my question is, well, who told you to leave? Were the ancestors wrong? So if the ancestors can possibly be wrong, then why y'all listening to them? The ancestors failed. They didn't succeed because you all are still crying and complaining. The fact that you all are still crying and complaining about racism and oppression should be an indicator that the ancestors failed. So what are they telling you all now that they didn't do back then? It doesn't make any sense. You know why? It's not real. Y'all are talking to demons. A demon told you to move to Africa, not your ancestors. The demons are telling you that America's racist, not reality. You are speaking to demons. They're the ones talking to you in your mind. It's a spiritual battle. Jarrell said, what did the ancestors build and leave you all? Absolutely nothing. The ancestors left you all nothing. The people that left you all something were your parents in America or your grandparents or your great-grandparents. The folks that left you all something were right here in America. Funny to me that your real family left you something, but y'all say, skip them, I'm going to go talk to the ancestors, which are really just demons. But she's moving back to America. She ain't lost a pound in Africa. You done went to the motherland. You done went to where it all started.
It took years for Anne-Marie Crawford to become an American citizen after she left Jamaica, where she was born.
I don't think we are really welcome there, just to work and put money in their pockets.
She's lived with her family in Atlanta for nearly 30 years. Now President Trump's back in office, she wants out. She says they've felt warmly welcomed here in Nairobi, where they've come to buy a home.
This is a prime area.
Adila Mohammed's helping her find it. It's part of a package offered by her company, Adila's Relocation Services. She says her clients are mostly Black Americans and that she's helped about 15 families move in the last year and that more are coming.
This one will be too small. You know, in America, we're used to big.
Savings or pensions can go further in Kenya, where Adila says there's a better life.
We can live comfortably without all the stress, without all the racism, without all the police brutality, without all of the heavy political climate. We don't need any of that.
All these folks are running their mouth about Trump, but I guarantee you take most of these Black folks and look when they made their most amount of money, and I guarantee it's from 2016 to 2020. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Anyway, this woman said that we don't have to deal with that. Well, first she says, in America, we're used to bigger spaces. Now, the white man is bad, but you get a bigger space in America. When you go to Nairobi, you got to live smaller. Then she says, the racism, the police brutality, the political climate, we don't need that. Man, what are you talking about? If America was racist, you wouldn't be able to leave. Ma'am, if America was racist, you wouldn't be able to take your American money and use it in Kenya. If America was truly racist, you wouldn't have any opportunities to move out the country. They wouldn't let you. Let's continue.
Our people just want to be at peace.
The history of the transatlantic slave trade has given West Africa appeal to some American migrants seeking their ancestral roots. Adila says anywhere in Africa can be home, but Nairobi's best. Adila and her clients say attractive apartments with gyms and swimming pools are drawing them to Kenya, but they're not only trying to escape generations of racial injustice in America, but also growing economic uncertainty.
Now imagine this guy just talking as if what he's saying is true. What this guy just said, and he just speaking so matter of this is what I mean by black culture. Now you have a guy he could be from South Africa, maybe from Europe. You have folks that are Jamaican, from Jamaica, but American citizens moving to Kenya. You have this lady right here. She's an American. You have all these folks, and they're just casually talking about, oh, America's just racist, and, you know, our rights are limited, you know, police brutality. They're just talking casual, and nobody's even questioning what they're saying. They are way over in Kenya, and you still see the results of black culture. This is for all of the IQ white people. They are over in Nairobi, and they're talking as if they're in America right now. Nothing has changed. They're in a completely different continent, and their rhetoric and mindset is the same. You know why? Because they are programmed and they are conditioned. It is the culture. Everybody just casually talking about how racist America is. But you go in and live in Kenya, and I guarantee that condo was built from foreign investors. Where you're about to stay, foreign investors invested in Nairobi to do that. So that means it possibly was a white man, Asian man, Jewish man, but it wasn't a black man. So these folks doing all this talking, but they still want to live somewhere that closest resembles America. My thing is, if you truly hate America, y'all should go to Africa and live like your ancestors. Go out there and live in the bush. Go out there and live in the jungle. Why do you want the amenities? Why do you want a gym? Y'all ain't working out. Why do you want a pool? Y'all can't swim. Why do y'all want these luxuries that the white folks have? Why don't y'all go to Africa and go live out there in the bush and talk like this in the morning? Good morning. And talk like that. Why are y'all going to Africa with American money to live like you live in America? You know why? Because it's called Western culture. So even though y'all want to be blingities and black empowerment, you still can't let go of Western culture because you know it's a superior culture than living in the bush.
Anne-Marie's worried her home in Atlanta will lose value, so she says she wants to sell it and move here within weeks.
I've been even telling co-workers before I even get here, because of what I'm seeing on YouTube. I said, it's time for us to all sell and go to Kenya.